I think that Ministers Norma, Foley and Josepha Madigan should resign. I'm not going to beat about the bush here. I think that Ministers Norma, Foley and Josepha Madigan should resign. To say that the handling of the reopening of schools has been an omnishambles would be the understatement of the year. I suppose it is still January, but given how awful this government is, I'm sure there are more fiascos en route. The press statement released by the department earlier this week beggars belief. The attempt at pitting parents against teachers, SNAs and unions is reprehensible, ministers, especially when we are hearing the absolute stress and distress that parents are under, particularly those who have children with additional needs. It is a blatant attempt to deflect from the fact that you have done nothing to plan for this since September, except to take advantage of the goodwill of all educational staff in facilitating the under-resourced return to school while repeating ad nauseum your fallacious mantra, schools are safe. Your statement opened in an overly confrontational way, stating a phased return for children with special educational needs to in-school learning on Thursday the 21st of January will regrettably not be possible owing to the lack of cooperation by key staff unions in the primary sector. After blaming a lack of cooperation, your statement then goes on to say that there was an unprecedented engagement with the primary and special education stakeholders. Using language like unprecedented engagement when speaking about unions and service providers is so disingenuous. You're either engaging with stakeholders and looking for cooperation or you're not. There is a bigger conversation here around students with additional needs. Teachers are not occupational therapists or speech and language therapists. Teachers are educators. This is a larger system failure with supports or lack thereof in general for children with additional needs and their families or carers. The waiting list for services are atrocious. The statutory timeframe for the HSE Assessment of Needs is constantly flouted, and it should be within 6 months of referral, and the process of assessment of need has reportedly been changed by the HSE. What is the current state of the waiting list within the National Educational Psychological Service? NEPs seem to have been mentioned in many department press releases and statements up to the end of last year. In November there were reports that the department created an additional 17 NEPs posts. What support is NEPs providing to teachers in schools now? How are assessments taking place during COVID, and what reviews of the service are taking place at this time? The section of government.ie which has the wellbeing advice and resources during COVID-19 from NEPs contains a number of PDF documents about claiming your child and calming your child and managing stress and anxiety. The information page seems to have been published on the 27th of August 2020 and updated on the 20th of January 2021. What cooperation is there between NEPs and the HSE, Minister? Minister, have you read the informative Twitter tweet by Erwin Gill at the start of this week? I think that should lay out exactly what needs to be done.